there's one more that was going around out there, which had to do with Charles Oliveira. And Charles Oliveira has come up with a list of demands. Charles Oliveira is willing, by the way, Charles has won me over. I see how great he is, just so we're clear. His last fight, I sat right cage side. I've never had more resistance from you. My own, you're my guys. You're not Charles's guys. You're my guys. And you've turned on me more for me not fully accepting the skills of Charles Oliveira. And I'll tell you what, I do now. I watched them closely. I could reach out and touch the cage. That's how close I was. But seeing that live like that, having no influence of announcers or anything else, just right there live as he took on Sakarian, a fight that he lost, I could still see the greatness. But I feel as though Charles can't do an interview without getting in his own way. And he has now put out an interview that he will be the backup fighter. He is willing to be the backup fighter for McGregor versus Chandler under these conditions. Now, I'm not going to tell you the terms and or conditions, but I've been very upset at Charles not wanting a world title fight. I've been very upset, and I've spoke to you guys to the fact that before Sakarian, Charles told us for the 4th time he was not going to fight Islam and did not even want to fight Islam, that if he gets a win over Sakarian at 300, he would like to use that bounce to take on Conor McGregor. I have told you that repeatedly. I told you before their alleged date on October 22nd of last year at Fight Island, that fight was not going to happen and that I had a source and that my source was Charles Oliveira. And I've said this so many times and so accurately that Charles Oliveira's trainer, Lima, who happens to be a crony of mine, came out and finally stuck it to me. Said, Chael, stick. He didn't like that I was saying these things. But I wasn't sharing an opinion. That's where he didn't have the right to be mad. I don't offer any opinion here. You might be able to guess what my opinion is, but I've never shared it. I've only told you facts. I've only told you quotes. So make sure you have that in mind. Because Charles Oliveira, who has already let the world know that he would do anything to be opposite Conor McGregor, he told us before 300, if he wins over Sakarian, he wants to use that power to fight Conor McGregor. Well, he lost at 300, and now he still might have the ability to fight Conor McGregor. Could you imagine? So now is not the time when anybody is going to listen to your list of demands. That was the problem with giving them. The entire problem of going first opposite leverage is you let it be known what it is you want. Which is exactly what leverage is. There is nothing else. If the other side, because you have a poker face, never knows what it is you want, they can never do this. So I'm only sharing it because the other side of those demands, the other side of those demands, and possibly Charles doesn't understand this part, okay? Who's going to be the backup fighter for Conor versus Chandler? So you really understand, really understand means who in the event of we need would replace Chandler. That's all that means. It's presented as we're going to save the card. We're going to save that fight. We're going to save that event. Well, considering it's about nothing, no, you're not. And considering it's 255-pounders that are fighting outside of their weight class, no, you're not. And considering there's no title, even one that we made up on the fly, no, you're not. If McGregor doesn't make the walk, neither does Chandler. That whole thing is now off. So when we ask who's going to be the backup fighter, what we want to work with, we want to deal with is somebody that deserves it, somebody that's earned it, somebody that would do it, somebody would count it, and somebody that wants it. And a guy coming off of a loss to possibly draw into his dream fight, as he's previously stated, at a weight class he won't have to diet for, that has a list of demands, simply is not the guy we're looking for.